Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. The arrest of Erick Omondi yesterday is still doing a lot of mixed political reactions. Kenyans are still talking and debating about the arrest. In this video, I want us to have a look at a tweet by Mutahi Ngunyi on the arrest of Erick Omondi. But before we do that, let's listen to Erick Omondi speaking immediately after he was released earlier today.
So, and the other heroes, where are they? Viva.
My freedom fighter.
My freedom fighters. Thank you very much. You are the heroes. So I think today is a sad day because we had to endure a whole day since yesterday when Erick and the heroes were arrested. And today the judge has granted bail and we got the release order. So I think Erick will speak to you. I think they were basically demonstrating against high cost of living and probably against preeconomics. I think the economic model for President Ruto is preeconomics, which has not worked well for other Kenyans. So these guys are heroes. And today is a sad day. But I think it's for Erick and the heroes who have endured police brutality and staying in the cold cells from yesterday up to today. From yesterday, I think from 10 to today around 5. So I think, Erick, is your opportunity to talk to Kenyans, your fellow Kenyans.
Hi guys, at Not a Mob. I want to first and foremost categorically clarify that I'm not part of any political outfit. I'm not part of Azimio. I'm not part of UDA. Our agenda is Kenya. Our agenda is Kenyans. Our agenda is the livelihood of Kenyans. Our agenda is unga. Our agenda is kerosene. Our agenda is taxes. Our agenda is money in the pockets of Kenyans. Hunger does not discriminate. Hunger does not care whether you're a Kikuyu, a Luo, a Mijikenda, a Kisii, or a Luya. Your landlord does not care whether you're an ODM or Jubilee. Tokens or electricity does not care which tribe you come from. Stima ikiisha, pesa ikiisha, uko peke yako. Nyumba ikifungwa, inafungwa ukiwa peke yako. So our agenda is very clear that we need money and food on the table of every Kenyan in this country. Mr. President, God answered your prayers. You went around this country campaigning in churches and you prayed. You're a believer and God answered your prayers and you're now the president. Time for prayers are over. Even God expects you to serve his people because he gave you the authority and you have the ability to deliver to them. No more prayers, Mr. President, with all humility. No more prayers. First and foremost, thank you very much, Mr. President, for lowering the prices of unga. We appreciate. But that is not enough. Kenyans are still suffering. Mr. President, I went to the parliament and they did not hear me. I went to the parliament and they did not receive me. If you're a Kenyan out there and you have a CV, please print it. Whether you're from Kitale, from Mombasa, from Malindi, print your CV. If you're a Kenyan out there and you have rent arrears, please talk to your landlord and ask them to give you an official letter that says you've not paid your rent. If you're a parent and you've not paid your school fees for your children, go to the headmaster or the headmistress, get a stamped copy of the fee structure. We are going to State House to take these documents to our lovely president.
Yes. That's Erick Omondi, and is making it very clear that he's going to lead in presenting a petition to State House. Yesterday, he wanted to present a petition to the Speaker of National Assembly, Wetangula. He was blocked and arraigned in court today. So he's saying this time around, he will head straight to State House. Let's have a look at a tweet by Mutahi Ngunyi Revolutions attract the most unlikely leaders. Remember the lumpen who burnt himself to death and ignited the Arab Spring, collapsing governments? Erick Omondi is not fighting Ruto. He is fighting an age-long system that is rotten from the core and to the core. Mutahi Ngunyi is bringing our attention to the Arab Spring. And we all know that the epicenter of the Arab Spring was in Tunisia, when a vegetable vendor set himself on fire when the local authorities mistreated him. And at that time, the Tunisians were going through a lot of economic stress, something similar to what Kenyans are currently going through. The death of the vegetable vendor led to the Arab Spring, and the revolution started in Tunisia, and eventually it toppled the government. I'm seeing a Mutahi Ngunyi who is likening the situation as it was in Tunisia during the Arab Spring to the actual situation in Kenya. What happened in Tunisia and in the Arab world, the Arab Spring, can equally happen in Kenya. Let's dig deep. I did say yesterday that Ruto arresting Erick Omondi yesterday was a very big blunder. In fact, the government ought to have diffused Erick Omondi's plans by allowing him present his petition to the Speaker of National Assembly. But by arresting him and blocking him, that in one way or the other just created a very interesting situation in the country, in that the government is actually annoying more Kenyans who are going through a lot of economic pains. And I did explain yesterday that by arresting Erick Omondi and his team, the government is just hardening Kenyans who are going through a lot of economic pains. And you are seeing Erick Omondi now is planning to stage a walk to State House to present the petition. And I'm very sure that this time around, if Erick Omondi was to go to State House, most definitely he will be having a very big crowd, or rather a bigger crowd of volunteers who will be ready to take him to State House. And that's how a revolution can just begin. In fact, instead of the revolution starting with politicians, it's starting from very unlikely quarters. And we might see a situation where more and more Kenyans will take to the streets demanding William Ruto and his government to resign. These are all possibilities. And the blunder William Ruto should not do is using the police to gag the demonstrators or to stop the demonstrators. That will worsen things. Ruto and his government should listen to these Kenyans with genuine concerns. They should not use the police, because using the police is actually creating this feeling that the government is very insensitive to the plight of Kenyans. Before I conclude, Ruto is getting it wrong. And this is something I've always maintained here. Ruto is actually getting it wrong on everything. Ruto moved around the country giving promises to Kenyans. Everything William Ruto promised, he has not delivered even on one. He has not delivered. In fact, Ruto is doing the exact opposite of what he promised Kenyans. In fact, Erick Omondi is not even getting it right. Unga, the price of Unga is actually going up. Unga is not coming down. The price is actually rising. If you look at the statistics, when Ruto took over power in September, in fact, almost everything has gone up. I'm seeing William Ruto and his government, they are pushing Kenyans to the wall. And this is why I've always maintained that all these things, these blunders William Ruto is doing, all these have got the potentials of a revolution. Kenyans will be pushed to the wall to a point they will say, enough is enough. And already, Raila and his team have also given William Ruto 2 weeks to lower the cost of living, failure to which there will be mass actions. So if Kenyans across the political divide, irrespective of party lines, all come out in the streets demanding their rights, that will be the beginning of a revolution. William Ruto can avoid that by being tolerant. Let him listen to these Kenyans who are actually complaining about the harsh economic times they are going through. He should not use the police. And the interesting bit about it, the ones who were demonstrating yesterday, they are now being branded as heroes. That's very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop it there. But in case you have not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe, give this video a like. To our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you're giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Any other person who wants to support our forum, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis.